We've come to a thing called Minetopia. Apparently there was an old copper mine back in the day. Well, the train's here. There was an old copper mine, and you can come to an amusement park that's based out of that, and something about Machu Picchu. All I have to say is that it's 1,200 yen for people to get in, and I'm already skeptical. I can't wait to be smiling a lot when I find things that I like. The train's here, so I'm already doing that. Yeah, right? No dilly-dallying. Get on the train. Oh, shit.
Start over.
Start. It's not gonna be as good, man. I already exploited all of my good stamping.
Seems like things are looking up though, don't they?
Oh, not so good. Can't be rectified, honestly. There you go. Some sort of new number. It's a 6 with a 6 on top of it.
Are you in the little kid's car?
Yeah. But it's the one that actually has open windows. All the other ones, like, it's too adult for me, okay? It can't be boxed in like that.
So it took all of a stamp and a little kid's car and a train, and you're smiling now.
I also feel like I broke into this car because I had to raise a bar to get inside.
Oh.
This bar right here was protruding my way into, and you should put it down when we're done with this video. I also felt like I broke the rules, so I'm pretty happy about that too.
We're the only people on this train.
Yeah.
Nobody else came.
They rang the bell and nobody came a-running.
This little train is absolutely electric. It's not making any noise, but they have built it so it's like fake steam comes out of the top, and it smells like vanilla.
Yeah.
Like it's really sweet and delicious. Being a miner would be great.
Yeah. There you go. Hookah bar down in the middle of the earth. That's how it works, right?
All right, how you feeling about the train ride?
Train ride was good.
I think that
Smelled good.
yeah, I think that the smell actually has taken the sting out of the price of the ticket a little bit. I did not expect that. That was an unexpected delight.
The smell has taken some sting out of the
And it was pretty. We were going up through the woods, we went over this nice little bridge. It was like literally a 2-minute train ride. This was not an extensive journey.
It rides to one side, and it has 10 minutes to get there, repack, and move away.
And I honestly am not very clear on what we're doing now. So we're just in this area.
All I see is a bridge, a set of stairs. It's like one of those games.
And a raccoon.
It's like one of those games. You say it like you come to the stopping point, and it's like bridge or stairs, and I would choose bridge.
Or the raccoon with the weirdly protruding belly button.
But he's not. I mean, that's just a definite.
He might be able to.
That's what you come up to. So this is a game. You got to press A.
That's X.
I pressed X, and now he's like, you can go up the stairs or you can take the bridge. Which will you take? I'm gonna choose the bridge. Thanks, guy. Geological wonders. Do you think this cave will have as many bats as the last one?
I don't know, man. Check the hangar for bats.
It also has speakers. That's a feature of all caves is speakers. I can't take natural cave noises, so just put some ambiance in there. Where's the monkey? They didn't hire the monkey here?
They actually didn't need to resort to the monkey because they splurged for Enya.
Yeah, they did. It's not a window. Okay.
僕ドータ皆さんこんにちは次はいよいよ遊学パークだよ地底1000メートルや索道のゴンドラに乗ったり別紙1号で宇宙に一体できるんだよ私僕ドータ皆さんこんにちは次はいよいよ遊学パークだよ地底1000メートルや索道のゴンドラに乗ったり別紙1号で
Oh, did you see that? He was like, no.
First thing I'd like to say is we've been alone the entire time we've been in here. There are no
Yeah.
other
I
customers,
just watched a 6-minute movie by myself.
and there are no other workers. There's nothing. We're completely alone. And it is super, super sparkly clean for a mine. And it's basically just a bunch of dioramas that explain the 200 plus year history of how they would get copper out of the ground. And obviously being a miner back in the day would be really difficult and probably still is. And it just kind of shows how hard it would be to truck things out with a basket and that type of thing. I mean, that's basically what's going on. Dioramas, explanations.
And it's explaining like the beginnings of it, and I just watched kind of what was happening at the end, like how mechanized everything had gotten,
Yeah.
and what the 1970s were in this mine.
Which was about the time it closed down. 78, I think, was when they closed. 73.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then, you know, you come around this corner and then there's a playground, and there's a thing that says you can go down below the earth 1,000 meters in an elevator, and underneath the elevator there's nothing, so it must be digitized somehow. You want to do this?
Oh man, I'm a bit disappointed.
I am a bit disappointed. I thought we were going to go under the earth.
Okay. How come your breath shows up and mine doesn't?
I'm hot, baby.
All right.
本日はマイントピア別紙へお越しくださいまして誠にありがとうございますただいまよりエレベーターで地底1000メートルの坑道へご案内いたしますしばらくの間ご辛抱くださいそれでは出発いたします
It's leaving now. Whoa, it's shaking.
The
地
floor
下
is
1000メー
moving.
トルの坑道内は足元が暗くなっていま
It's
す
just on a
ご
reel.
覧の明かりを頼りに
Oh,
お進みくだ
that's
さ
the
い
strip where we
坑
flipped
道の
over.
出口は3カ所ありま
I
す
think it's telling you the time it takes to get down
Yeah,
1,000
yeah, yeah.
meters, not like the feeling of going down there. Like I thought it was gonna be like, oh, we're gonna go and be really cold. And
Do you feel like you're moving though?
そして3つ目は
Yeah, when I look at that, yes.
Where the ground is like wobbling.
when I look at you, no, I feel like I'm on the train in between the cars.
Oh, yeah.
You know that area between the cars? That's what I feel like. But if I look at that, it does make me feel like I'm going down.
くれぐれも注
Did
意
your ears
事項を
pop
お
yet?
守りください
No. No.
Kind of wanna make them pop.
指定に到着しました
That was quicker than I thought it was gonna
反対側の
be.
扉を開けてお進みください
Get the fuck out. Kudasai. This is just a really, really extended version of Yogi's Cave, right? It's really extended. And really, like, geological. So it's kind of like Smithsonian in here. So, you know, when you go to the Smithsonian, you want to see all the gems and stuff in the one room. Nobody knows what I'm talking about, because I'm the only one who wants to go to the gem room.
Nobody can see you.
Yeah, so this will not be going in. I'm gonna put stuff in it.
I think you're gonna put you in it.
I can't fit in that. I can fit in that. I'm gonna put my balls in it! The gondola has arrived. Open the door. This doesn't move, which feels kind of weird. Stepping down. If I don't see you ever again, bye. There's a joystick. as if there were more than one direction to go.
Hi.
The button. I think I pushed this and it makes me go forward, but I probably have to have that door closed.
Alright.
Oh, maybe I'll just see if it goes. Alright, I pushed forward, nothing happened. Left. This is... Let me put that back on. Left and right don't work. Back doesn't work. Forward does. This goes front and back, not side to side. So I think the door has to be closed or I'm not going anywhere.
Close the door.
Peace out. Maybe you have to push the switch. You have to do both at the same time. It's like a submarine.
You mean a submarine?
You both have to turn your keys. This is fun.
This gondola is so small, I am pushing both of the forward levers with my knees. And it's not because it's the way I want to do it, it's because it's the only way it works because my knees just are that big.
On a bumpin' day, how long do you think you have to wait for this ride? 1, 2 hours? Yeah. Where the coal be? Copper, whatever, mineral or what we're looking for. I think this train broke me. This is so absurd. They're really putting out all the stops to make this disused copper mine entertaining. I'm trying to ride some more. You want to get on?
Go! Oh, it's like this is our second tandem bike ride in 2 days.
Yeah, that's true. I don't really. Oh yeah. Maybe take your hands off me, just start going. We're gonna hit that wall. I have a feeling it was more powerful than this. I saw the pictures.
It's my homegirl. She was one of the women that they would use to port the rocks and stuff out of the mine. And it said that when they came up to the mine, they would bring rice and miso, and when they would leave, they would obviously take what was being mined out of the mine back down. And it's got this experience here at Experience Zone 2, which we are now in. And the experience is a backpack, I guess, with a huge weight on the back, or a rock, that shows you what it was like to carry that stuff. And it says it was 6 kilometers one way, and that this thing weighs 45 kilometers, or 45 kilos. Oh my god! Oh my god! It's really heavy. You can walk 6 kilometers like this? Oh, no.
She's smiling about it.
Oh, I think
you're supposed to feel like a water pump man.
Oh, you're pumping water.
Yeah.
I'm not super clear what they're trying to illustrate here, aside from just like a water wheel, but there's an area where it's like a pump that doesn't do anything, and then that's I guess to make you feel like you're pumping the water, and then the water fills in this green triangle tub, and then when it fills to a certain point, it tips, and the water runs down this like aqueduct system, turns the water wheel, and then makes some bells ring. I'm not sure. There's no explanation. Like I have no idea why the bells should be ringing. How you feeling about those 1,200 Japanese clams that we slammed down?
I think it's still a high price.
It's a bit high.
But I laughed really hard. That was...
The whole thing is rather just nuts. It's absurd.
It's
like,
a bit absurd.
They've Disneylanded a mine in a way that
they
is
have not
strange.
Disneylanded a mine. I don't know what theme park to this would be the analogy for it, but it ain't no Disneyland.
Yeah, Disney would have been at a higher caliber. Yeah, it's not that it's bad. It's just that like people like toiled their lives away and died and stuff, and like and then like now there's like a
and
theme
now I'm
park.
giving a raccoon a high five when I come into the cave.
It's a bit of a weird mood shift from I think what the reality of the cave was, which makes it cool that when we were in Nagasaki, we went on a cave tour of a mine that was I think probably more accurate to the actual. You remember what I'm talking about? In Nagasaki, we went to that island.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Whoa, watch out, lizard.
Lizard! I paid for you! Yeah. Continue.
Yeah, this sort of just felt like a castle where they put a museum inside, as opposed to letting you feel like what it was like to be inside the castle.
Yeah,
But it still was funny. But I don't know if it should have been.
I think that's the thing. I don't think they were going for funny. But I don't really know what they were going for, like entertaining kids that are under the age of 8.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
That's what I felt like.
That's basically your your demographic.
Yep, my demographic of giggling. Snap. Try to take my ice cream. Think mine's gonna be better or yours is gonna be better?
Mine is a better color. What's weird about this is yours is Mikan and mine is Eokon. And I think Eokon is that color in real life and Mikan is this color in real life.
Yes, it feels very backwards.
But we verified.
When you freeze them, do they change colors?
I don't know. What are we doing this to?
To the giggles in the cave.
Tastes like Mikan? Mm-hmm. Mine just tastes like ice cream. Tastes like a creamsicle.
I think yours is better.
It is. A second zone of the mine complex is something that they are touting as the Machu Picchu of the Orient. That's how they translated it into English. And
sounds really good.
that seems like it might be setting the bar a bit high for what I've seen pictures of, but we thought we'd give it a try. It's free, and it was a 30-minute drive down a pretty narrow, curvy, fun road. So far we're winning, and the price is right.
Yeah, it's free. I'm basically just considering it's part of the 1,200 yen, so I can feel a little bit better about that.
That's very smart of you.
If I got things right, between the cave, the mine that we just went to, and some other place, they strung up kind of like a way to transport the ore. This transportation system was supported by 18 pillars, or 28 pillars, and there were 2 relay stations along the way. This is the remnants of one of those relay stations. I don't know what this has to do with Machu Picchu. This just looks like Richmond, Virginia. Like, that's what I see when I look at this. Maybe the bricks are new here or something, I don't know, but it just looks like some of the factories in Richmond that aren't being used.
To be fair, the setting is pretty nice.
The setting is out, a little bit of a nice drive, a lot of greenery. but maybe, you know, just say it's a nice drive. Bring me to the ghetto. I'm sorry, that's probably all far-fetched, but that's what
I think calling it Machu Picchu is also far-fetched.
Yeah, so let's meet somewhere in the middle. This is okay stuff. We had thought that Sanuki udon maybe was just in Kagawa Prefecture, but we are now passing through, or just now hitting Tokushima Prefecture, and I noticed the name of this udon shop is Sanuki-ya, so like Sanuki shop, and they are making the udon. I'm getting the oden mixed up in my head, and I had to stop for a second. The man came over and he gave me my noodles, which I ordered hot, and he added the juice for me from the gigantic jug. That's probably the best thing that could have happened. Who knows what I would have done. He's a professional. Let him do his thing. They've also put some onions and some shoga onto the table, and some bits of deep fried bits. I'm gonna load those on as I'd like. I asked if I could get some lemon, and he told me they don't have any lemon. But maybe he meant like that doesn't come in mine. But I will give you $1 for a lemon right now. I would give you a whole 100 yen for a lemon. But he will not bring me a lemon. That is quite a bummer, because we learned last time that lemon is where it's at. I'm gonna give this a try. I had done some chopsticks. I don't know where they went. I think the jug was my favorite thing.
The steam coming up in front of you is amazing looking.
2 and 3. I can definitely like feel the squareness that they're going for, like how it was square and flat, but these noodles are a bit overcooked. This is how we cooked it when we were at the yeah, this is mistaken. I have higher expectations. But this place is quite recommended on Taberogu. Lots of people like it.
Literally nothing else to eat for 20 miles.
Yeah, maybe.
I also have a bowl of noodles, but something I wanted to talk about was a thing that you can get at shops that sell udon and soba very often, which is called inari sushi. Something that I have become somewhat of a, I wouldn't say expert, but I'm a connoisseur of inari sushi. I really quite enjoy it because it just brings a little bit of sweetness and it gives you the opportunity to get some rice into your meal, even though you probably don't need rice with all the noodles. So inari sushi is a deep fried tofu skin that has a bit of a sweet taste to it, and it's got rice inside of it. It's a fairly simple affair, but whenever you go to a stand or something in Tokyo that sells this type of thing, they also tend to sell inari sushi. So if you have the opportunity, you can grab them. They're usually cheap, maybe like 100 yen for 2 or something like that. And they're kind of big, to be real. I'm hoping that these get a better review than the noodles Katie had. It's a little bland. It tastes fine, but it doesn't taste too exciting. There's not very much sweetness in the skin on this one. Maybe it kind of falls in the same area as the noodles. It's not offensive, but it's not something that I'm like, I'm coming back to this little tiny mountain town to get it once again. Yesterday, after our drive basically all the way across the length of Shikoku, we have arrived in Tokushima-shi, and we are staying in a pretty nasty, basically little business hotel. It's just grungy and gnarly. It's not the best place in the world. But this morning we woke up and we looked at a map and we realized that very close to where we're staying is something labeled the Tokushima Castle. Not leftovers, what's the right word? Ruins. And so we were like, okay, that sounds good. Let's find a bakery, grab some food, and then go over there and have some breakfast and like look at the ruins. So we've done that. And we hiked up this hill for quite a while, maybe, I don't know, 10 minutes or so. And at the top of the hill, there are nothing. It's just a big field where there's a bunch of kids like playing, which is, that's fine. The kids can come up here and have a good time. But like, I think we both kind of expected to see some leftovers of a castle, and there really is nothing. It's just a grass field.
Let me in on this. So we've run into the castle that's been restored into a museum, and that's really boring. We've run into the castles that have been restored to what they originally were, so you can enjoy the originality and go in there and feel like you're really in a castle, which is amazing. And now we've encountered the vanishing castle. Apparently it's just gone. This is it, I don't know if it's the worst. Is it worse than the museum? You have to pay for the museum. At least I don't have to pay for this, and I get a nice little bench in the shade.
Do you remember the name of the bakery?
A Willy Winky. That's where we went to get breakfast.
So we rolled over to the Willy Winky and just got some normal, it was a nice bakery, but something that we found very interesting is they sell a piece of bread called the Shikoku 88, and it's 88 yen, and it's shaped just like Shikoku. I'm not sure, honestly, which way north is on this map.
I think that's correct.
This way? Yeah,
Yes.
Maybe. And I think it's just going to be like a piece of sweet bread, kind of. They sold me on the name, the 88 yen, and the fact that it's shaped like where we are. You don't often get to eat where you are. Just like a dry sweet bread. No, I mean, it's nice, but the important part here is the name and the shape. It's pretty cool.
Are you ready for this kyde adventure? I've brought you to the middle of nowhere, which just feels like a very residential area that has some very compact farming on it. Not very much parking. We've kind of annoyed some lady on a bike. The reason that I came here is because I saw in the book that they have some sort of seaweed experience, and we may or may not be doing that. Wow. When I say that I'm going to take you on an experience, basically what I mean is that I'm going to go into this thing I really want to do, and you're going to translate all the things that happen around me, and I'm just going to have fun.
So,
how you feeling now that you've been my interpreter for this entire experience?
I mean, 99% of what we talked about is fine, but when we start getting into the deep digs about different seaweed products and stuff, I start losing like kind of my grounding on like what we're talking about. Like, I'm like, okay, I don't really know the verbiage about harvesting seaweed. This is not something I've ever talked to somebody in Japanese about. So we hit little rocks, but what happened is we just walked over here and there's a bunch of seaweed
to
drying.
Some dude's kind of house, and he's got some buildings behind the house. I just walked up to one of the buildings and I was like, Wakame? And then he said a whole bunch of words, and then he knew what we were there for. Like, it was no surprise. And he asked his coworker, like, is it cool if I go give them the tour right now? And the
dude was like, I'm gonna have lunch.
Yeah, so the guy was like, I'm gonna have lunch. So he took us over into a room where they have wakame, and they've taken it from the ocean and
they harvest it.
They harvest it themselves. And then what they're doing is they're taking off. They want the core of the wakame, and that core of the wakame goes into bentos. It goes after being frozen for a year.
It can be frozen for a year.
Ah, okay.
So what he said was that they rinse it in a boiling machine, and then they run it through a tumbler and put a bunch of salt on it.
Yeah, that's right.
And then they peel off the edges, and some parts of it are used for certain things like bentos, and some parts of it are used like directly in some foods, and some people, like, he was just explaining all the different pieces of the wakame and how
it could be used by people that they will sell it to.
Yeah, and the younger wakame is better than the older wakame because it's the older stuff gets crunchy and hard and stuff. So we just went through like all of that explanation.
Yeah, so
and stuff.
He explained like what they would do with it, and then some of it might get frozen, and some of it's going to get
they've
dried.
got this huge freezer.
We got to go into the freezer. And they were never seen again. If he wanted to close this and murder some honkies, he could totally do that.
It's a pretty big room that they've got for a freezer, especially by Japanese farm standards, which are typically smaller than like a huge American operation.
And we saw some wakame in there that had been in there from February, and that's what was closest to the door.
And he said that they could be in there for up to a year.
Yeah, so you can freeze wakame up to a year. Then after we went through there, he took us over to another like lady who showed us the end product.
That was his wife.
That was his wife.
Yeah, that was his wife.
His wife showed us the end product of drying and cutting. So we got to see like these bits. Like, this is dried cut wakame. And then he took us to see where they dry it, wash it. Actually, they wash it first, then they dry it, and then there's a cutting machine that happens. And we got to see all of these machines. What I thought was interesting is we only got to see the drying machine in operation. The other machines, we didn't really see them in operation. He just explained it. But it was still cool to see all the tools that he uses.
The deal is we didn't make a reservation, and I think you were supposed to have.
Yeah.
We just kind of like rolled up here, and we were, because the plan was if like they couldn't have talked to us now, we were going to say, can we make a reservation for later today?
Or
but he was
tomorrow.
just like, let's just walk around and look at our stuff, which is way more cool than, I just want to see this guy's world, like, you know what I mean?
Definitely.
And see how a farm operates and see what this guy's life is like to us. Like, this is a little piece of it, and we got to see all that.
We're gonna go to Katie's younger memories, okay?
Okay.
We do this a lot.
Yeah, we do.
All right, so like back in the day, I used to have a lot of friends and their dads would be like handymen, and I would just walk into the garage and just watch what they were doing, talk to them about what they were doing, try to take the tools from them so I could do whatever they were doing.
Which is why you used tools today.
Yes, I did use tools today because he was doing stuff with stuff, and I was just like, I will do this now. This is my turn. And it was none of the machines that had anything to do with Wakame. I got to use the machine that puts these little tags on, or like these little stickers onto seal bags.
Okay.
Out. Wow.
Go ahead.
I did a bad job.
失敗もう一回やってもう一回やってワンって。
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Perfect. Oh, wow. Cool. That was very fun. You got to do it fast.
But
Fast is important.
It was awesome. The dude was really cool. Just a chill old farmer dude.
I went to the website. The guy that we got the tour from is on the website, and it also turns out these satsumaimo that they sell, his picture is on the
label.
supermarket. We are going to a supermarket and we're going to find him. I can't wait. And he also gave this as a present, and we got the omiyage that we're going to snack on in the car. I'm actually going to have some now because I'm feeling it. Yeah. It was a great tour.
Awesome.
And
really cool.
I thought like 2,000 yen for the tour and the omiyage for 2 people. I really thought that's what it was going to be.
And then he only made us give him 500 yen.
And we were like, really? And then I stepped on some wakame and I felt really bad. That's your bread and butter.
That's weird bread and butter, dude.
Holy crap, this is so good. And it's really scary looking. It's so black. I got it stuck in my throat. Need more.
This conversation is making me uncomfortable.
We rode across a bridge from where we did the Wakame experience and just randomly came across a very highly ranked teishoku restaurant. Teishoku is where they give you a main dish and then they give you a lot of little things to go with it. Teishoku. One of the major things that's on my plate right now is this huge wakame soup that has come. And it doesn't surprise me being in this area that you might be inundated with wakame stuff. And I am very excited to try it. There's not a spoon situation, but this wakame might be a chopstick situation. Oh, it is. Eric doesn't like this. It tastes like what we were smelling. It's really good, and it's a miso base for the soup, so it's nice and salty and soft. That's perfect. And I just got a basic sashimi teishoku, just some fish, but the wakame is the standout.
We came in here thinking that because I'm a little bit picky about seafood, like maybe this could be a bit of a risk. But what I ended up finding on the menu was a vegetable tempura, and I went ahead and got it, and it's the classy stuff. This is like some killer tempura, and it's all vegetable, so it's not scary stuff from the sea. Got some kabocha, got some satsumaimo, got some mushrooms. I eat this stuff at like fast food joints sometimes, and it's good, but this stuff is like off the charts good. And I was blown away because the plate of tempura that I got is only 700 yen. And we think that they're going to charge me a little extra for the set that came with it and everything. But just the quality of what I'm getting and the atmosphere and everything for 700 yen, this is like shockingly cheap.
We are at the area where whirlpools originate. We've already seen like some tiny whirlpools on the other coast of Shikoku, but now we're at kind of one of the main areas to expect them, and hopefully they'll be a little bit bigger here.
From the Whirlpool sign, we hiked up over a little hill, And we had a quick glimpse of what we were going to be getting to see, and we kept going down the hill, and then we came to another rest area, and at that rest area you have a really cool view of this huge bridge and the extremely strong tides flowing in and out between the islands and underneath the bridge that is here. And that is what's causing these vortexes and whirlpools. And it is
Good pronunciation there.
violent. Yeah, whirlpool. It's impossible to say this word. It is a violent amount of water moving back and forth. Like to the point of where they're running boats out into it, like for tourism. And I can't believe that this is okay. Like it just looks
I'm
like
watching a boat go sideways right now. It's literally just going whoosh.
it just seems like that a gigantic sea monster is going to come up and swallow these boats. The way that
Yeah,
it looks, it's like
yeah.
something out of Pirates of the Caribbean or something.
It's huge. It's absolutely huge.
And we have found a snack that is, as they do in Japan, themed around the activity that we're doing.
I think we actually can get these across the street from where we live. They're just not branded with the spiral.
Oh, okay. So they put a spiral on it. It's like a whirlpool or whatever, and it's called a uzukin. Uzukin.
Uzu.
Uzumaki. Uzukin. And uzu just means kind of like spirally thing.
Starting to smell better. At first it just smelled like plastic.
It smells good.
I'm gonna eat it.
All right. Well, you didn't even tap, man. You got to tap. What's this too?
Uzu.
Whirlpools, y'all.
You can see the little bits in there from the skin. Gotta eat. Oh crap.
So it's like satsumimo, like a sweet potato. Pretty good. Really
Yeah.
good fika.
And what's interesting is we got wakame from our wakame experience, and then we ate wakame, and he also gave us satsumaimo, and that's what we ate for fika.
That's true.
Seems like he rules our life now. Well, what's next? I
don't know.
can't even imagine. I don't know if the pirate boat is trying to go into the vortex or came out of the vortex. It seems to be a portal to another dimension. So our options were to ride on a boat or go out on the bridge. It looks like the boats might be finishing for the day from the schedules that we saw. And we honestly thought an aerial view would be much better to see a whirlpool than sitting next to it. So we've come to the bridge, which might be obvious from the wind. Holy crap. And now I'm gonna walk over the water. Do it again. This wind is no joke. It is chilly out here, and my hair, I put it up, but the wind has just destroyed it. So, putting my hood on and feeling pretty good about my attire for today, except for the fact that I'm not wearing pants. Oh, there's a boat going underneath us. Just looking out over the water, you can see tiny little vortexes. I in my mind thought that I was going to see like a gigantic one, but I'm seeing these little ones that just kind of start up and you can see them making the spiral. And it's almost like seeing little shooting stars. Oh, there's one, there's one, there's one.
Spotting the whirlpools is only part of the experience here. The other things that are going on is the incredible amount of wind that is actually a bit cold, and that you're on a bridge that above you big tractor trailers and cars are going by and shaking the entire thing, and you're feeling it and you're hearing it, and it just kind of adds to the intensity of everything. And then of course you're looking over this really rough water, and then you can walk out on this glass. There's a lot of aspects of this that are kind of just like a lot to grapple with at the moment. However, there is some information here that I thought was interesting, and it kind of explains what is causing this phenomenon. And it's basically a combination of a few things that just make it kind of the perfect storm. And this is showing the currents of the water that is going around this island. And at the moment, our bridge is here, and we're in between this. So it gets very narrow. The Pacific Ocean is out here, and then the Bay of Osaka is in this area. And it's got this narrow passage that it has to go through. And that's creating a whole lot of different currents that are going in different directions. And it's being helped by the fact that the seawall, or the sea floor, is shaped down and up like this. So things are coming down, coming up, and just causing swirls. And it kind of makes sense, like when you think about it, why it would be creating so much veracity in the seawater.
Oh, quick, 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 quick. He's going over the bridge.
So I wasn't gonna make a video about this, but we came in and I decided to make a video mostly because that dude that is cooking the food is passionate about what he's doing, and it's a really good example of exactly what I'm looking for from a restaurant. So the way we found this place is we were just in the car and we were like, what are we gonna eat? And we were just looking on Google, and I started to notice there were a lot of curry rice restaurants in Tokushima that have got cheese that they hit with a blowtorch to like melt it. And that's not completely unheard of, but it's a bit weird to see a whole bunch of them concentrated in one area, like it's kind of a specialty or something. So I chose one that was nearby. We came over here, and the first thing that I noticed when we came in was a sign that's on the wall that says, when you order, it's gonna take a while to get your food because we make every meal individually. So we want it to be delicious, and like the guy is clearly concerned that he's gonna make a meal that is to his standards, which is awesome. And he does have a menu that has a lot of things in it, but it's all based on the same like style of a curry dish. So he's picked his one thing, he's gotten really good at it, and he's putting signs out that's like, look, you're gonna have to wait so it's bright. And I love that. This is exactly what I want from a place. It's not, you know, it's not classy. They're not trying to serve everything under the moon. He just figured out what he does and he's doing it good. That's what I'm hoping anyway. I haven't had it. But the food has come out and it looks pretty damn good. And I got something that's called Tokushima curry. Tokushima curry. And a sauteed chicken on top. You can choose like a grilled chicken or a sauteed chicken or a couple of different types of, you can chicken it different ways. But this is the one that I went with. And it's got a yellow rice and cheese like I had mentioned, and curry. Let's jump in here to a bit of rice, a bit of cheese, a bit of curry, and a bit of bird. It's pretty warm, so hopefully I don't die. That's a really good sign.
Three blows, please.
Oh yeah, sorry. 1, 2, 3.
Those were not long enough blows. He's going to burn his face off. Burning his face off.
It's very hot. It's very good. It's like extraordinarily good. Very well flavored. It's a little spicy, just how it should be. It's a little gray, just how it should be. And believe it or not, even though we're in Asia, the cheese had a bit of punch. The bird is peppered. Oh man. Yeah, this is when you come into a place, it's like you just smell it based on the people that are working here. You're like, this is gonna be high class. The dude here cares, and he does. And the other sidebar that's interesting about this place is we ordered, and he was like, all right, what do you want after the meal? Do you want hot coffee? Do you want hot tea? Do you want ice cream? It's like, it's included. Like, what? Ice cream? That came out of nowhere. It's like, I'll have the ice cream. So after I punch this back, it's ice cream time.
Okay. This is the seaweed experience that I've come to. We're taking the core of the seaweed out that's going to be dried, and then the outer parts are going to be sold to supermarkets. So you go down it, pinching these 2 fingers, and get the sides off. There we go, wow. Okay. He was way faster at it than I am, but I'm new. Wow, it's strong.
From the wool, that's really hard to say. From
I've been saying vortex.
The vortex, the whirlpool.
You have me in your beard.
Ew, we're gonna start over.
Yeah.
That wasn't funny, that was funny. We're coming to the end of our Shikoku series, and we're super happy you're still enjoying it. Liking, commenting, subscribing, and belling on YouTube is appreciated, and supporting us on Patreon or via PayPal helps us most of all. Links below.